if they want 1,000 seats, they would love to.
I mean, if you take the kids to the
decide what you're allowed to show.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to episode 6 of
on
Day
6
Drinking with
already?
Shag. Yeah.
This is episode 6. And they said we'd never make it to 5.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be starting this with a more full glass.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of which, who we got here?
Pre-production drinking.
Who we got here with us today?
Hey, who we got? Jimmy Sturgeon.
Welcome,
Yes.
Jimmy Sturgeon, our keyboardist, to Shag the Band.
Good to be here.
Thank you. So
We've all, how many guest episodes have we had? This is the second
This
one.
is the second
you are
one.
the
Second
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we worked out the kinks on the
Yeah.
first one. And now we got, I think we know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We
don't-
one of
Happy
the-
hour drinking.
So
we should.
what are we drinking today?
Ooh.
Krash?
Well, we are still on the German Pilsner in our glasses, but in those tanks right over there, I think you guys are all going to be really excited to know that we're making a salted lime Mexican lager.
Oh, fun.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
It's going to be low alcohol. It's got a lot of limes in it. A lot.
Okay.
We made it yesterday. My brewing partner and I. And it is going to be a crusher. You know, it's like, it's a multi-beer kind of
So how do you-
summertime.
Roofing beer.
It's
Yeah.
a roofing beer.
Yeah,
You
roofing
can,
beer.
You can
Yeah, exactly.
safely do your roof.
Yes.
on-
No, you can't.
Whoa!
Never drink and work on your roof.
It's safer than if
Seems
you
like a
were-
bad idea.
That
Yeah.
is legal
Yeah,
advice.
yeah.
Never do.
So-
No, it's not legal advice.
How do you prepare your limes to go, or any fruit for that matter, to go into beer so that it doesn't like contaminate your beer with bad stuff?
That's a great question. So what you do is you add those adjunct type of things
Professor.
before the boil. Yeah,
No, okay.
before the boil.
that word. I've never seen it used for
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Use it as beer. So you put that stuff in pre-boil.
Okay.
So then the boil comes and it kills everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
obviously you wash that stuff first. Like the toilet water here is of course some of the best in the world. So
It's true.
good.
A connoisseur of fine toilet water.
I'm looking at my beer in a new way now, but yeah, all right.
Don't worry, it's pre-boiled.
It's all being boiled.
Best in the world.
Yeah.
Boiled toilet water.
By the way, guys, I gotta say this is an unscripted moment, but there is
there's a script.
Unlike the rest.
there is a local British Columbia brewery,
I forgot to do
and
my
I can't
homework.
remember what they're called. If I could remember, I would say it. But they have just released a new beer that I'm going to say infamously at this point, are telling everybody is filtered through bear poop.
Oh, I heard this.
Did you hear about it?
I did hear about this.
Honestly, I'm
I
horrified.
can't believe I heard this.
I got to tell you, I'm horrified.
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah. It's, you know what? It's going to get them a lot of attention. It's going to get people into the brewery. People are going to come in and go, oh, I want to try the bear poop beer. And you're going to throw it mostly out. But yeah, honestly,
Attention, yes. The part where I have to drink it, I'm not really with you. I don't see it.
We
but-
drank
Cat poo coffee.
Cat poo coffee.
Yeah, that
it
was a
wasn't
thing.
cat. It wasn't cat.
No,
it was
it's
Japanese, right?
Indonesian. No, this was Indonesian.
It's cat adjacent.
Cat
Cat
eats
adjacent poo.
Yes.
cat eats beans.
No, I thought it was
Yeah.
monkey.
Poops beans.
It was monkey.
And
wasn't
somehow that makes them magic.
It's a creature. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a cat crossed with a monkey. Like, it's basically.
It's
it?
like
A
some sort of,
crunky.
it's
A
a,
crunky.
it's a sort of organic processing.
Yes.
Yes.
Through the
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they say the animal knows how to pick the very finest. It's
Ooh.
the Juan Valdez of the animal kingdom. And we drank it.
Ooh.
Brought
Yeah,
it back
we
as
drank it.
gifts. They
Yeah.
sell it in the gift shop.
Yeah.
No, really, people will want to have this.
Right.
Nobody wants
So
to
I
have
thought, so for whatever reason, and I don't think it's justifiable. I think that's way less gross than having my beer filtered through bear poop.
I agree.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
and I hope they know what they're doing. I hope they know what they're doing, and I wish them luck in their endeavors. Personally, me wouldn't want to have my brewery associated with poop of any kind in
Yeah,
any way.
true.
That's
Totally
just-
true.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the beer.
There's no poop. There's no poop in here.
Principled stance,
Right.
like going on
I know.
the edge,
I know.
going at it and saying,
I know, it's a
like,
risk.
Yeah,
It's a risk that we're willing to
but-
take.
So Jimmy,
Don't put poop in.
Jimmy.
Jimmy speaking. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if I want to look right in the camera, it's this one. Is that?
Yeah,
that's a
okay.
good
yeah.
camera.
Oh, I
to
should
look at. We never
make
know.
sure my beer is not in front of
But
it.
try
That would
looking
be
in the
important.
fisheye camera just to see what that'll do.
Yeah, that one's
That
kinda
one
fun.
right there.
Yeah,
No,
right
you
there.
gotta go
You can
close,
kinda like-
closer. There
I
you
see
go.
That.
This
That's
guy's a
good.
pro.
This'll go really good on audio.
This guy's a pro.
podcast.
This will be. That'll definitely be like the picture that we put up of the episode.
There, now we've got our
For sure.
thumbnail.
Day drinking with Jimmy the Fish.
So I was thinking a nice way that we can do introductions now that we're on our number 2 person is
Number 2 again. Didn't we finish at the very Sorry.
Oh my
So
God.
tell us a little bit about yourself, including the first concert you ever went to.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Well, I am.
Surprise question.
I am from Points East.
Oh.
So I was born in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia.
God's country.
So I felt when I was thinking about how to brand myself, Sturgeon is I wanted a fish thing for my people in Nova Scotia. So
Great fishers.
Yeah. I mean, is it okay to say that we're making these names up?
Yes.
What?
I don't think anybody really does.
Jimmy Sturgeon isn't your passport name?
It is not. It is not. No.
I love
And,
having a pseudonym, by the way.
And,
Final
very
Vixen
free.
is not your daughter's
right.
name?
No, it is not.
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
Young Vinyl.
What shall we name this one? Let's call her Vinyl.
Let's call her Vinyl Vixen.
The next one would be CD.
Everyone's going to want to hear more about that, but I want to just talk about myself. And Jimmy is of course James.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's
James,
my dad's name.
James
Yeah.
T. Kirk. That's where that came from.
Oh.
So Jimmy Sturgeon. That's how I came up with
I
that.
like
Don't
that.
say you don't learn something off this podcast.
No,
people.
it's educational.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
It's a sad day you don't learn things.
Yeah. So, but we moved around a lot, and I went to high school in London, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And my first concert was the Doobie Brothers.
Which version? Which lead singer?
Amazing. I'm gonna.
Please be
Tom
Michael
Johnson.
McDonald. Please be
Or
Michael
Mike
McDonald.
I'm sure
Michael
McDonald. McDonald was there. I don't actually know if Johnson was there or exactly who was singing those songs.
Right.
It was a whirlwind.
Yeah, it would have been like 1979 or something. I actually have the ticket, so I can.
Wow.
I kept the ticket.
Oh,
If you
that's
can,
I have an extensive scrapbook.
take a
Especially in my early
picture.
years.
Take a picture of it
Oh,
and,
and you'll-
send it to
and you'll cut
Dash,
it
and
into the
we'll
thing.
cut
Yeah,
it in.
I will
totally do that.
do
Oh,
that.
even better. Loan it to the Lizard Lounge Museum.
No,
that's
Put it
secret.
right there. It's protected by fiber. What
Do
is
you
this
know
kind of
what?
stuff called again?
Hey.
Plexiglass.
I call myself a rock and roll piano player.
Right.
Sort of at heart.
Yep.
Right.
And I was a musical theater
The
guy.
best kind.
Yeah.
So that was sort of most of my early years. I mean, so yes, piano player. My dad also a piano player.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So didn't take a lot of formal lessons. So learned on my dad's knee and
Oh,
all that kind of
okay.
stuff. So that's sort of my
Very
He was like,
Did you
this
play
is the
some-
money key. Did you ever say
Right?
that?
Yeah. No, that did not happen. But I don't even know what you mean. But yeah. So and I can remember when it went from being a chore to being fun,
Oh,
like
okay.
around age 12 or so. It's like it was no longer being forced to take piano lessons.
Right.
It was like, no, I would actually play this stuff.
And
So-
what was that transition like? Was it like a music artist that you were like, I want to learn how to play this song because it's so cool? And I
The
love this
first song, it's super dorky, but the first song that I remember playing that was kind of a poppy kind of a song was Born Free. Born free, as free as the wind we
Oh,
love,
yes.
as free as the grass grows. That's all I got.
Yeah, my elementary school, we did that in grade 2
Yeah.
or something.
And then,
Wow.
and then my dad threw in this lick, da 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 da. And then I was playing the
Nice.
chords in the left hand, dun 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 dun. So C F first inversion. Anyway,
And Jimmy Sturgeon was hooked.
Yeah.
But then
Sturgeon.
Jesus Christ Superstar,
Oh.
all of that,
boy.
all of that
Good.
stuff.
Musical
in fact,
theater, great stuff.
yeah. So that's sort of where it became fun.
Awesome.
Nice.
I was notorious for playing In the Mood. So piano player first for sure.
Right.
Well, we were.
Well, hold on a
My early piano career.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jimmy just said something that I find fascinating as a person from a family of non-musicians. Like my family, famously not musical. I grew up under the impression that there were like these magical people that were musicians. But it's funny to hear like the notion that like I was forced to do lessons and then it became fun kind of thing. To me, it's just completely outside of my musical experience.
Yeah.
Where I was for me, it was more like, hey, I'm going to save money to buy a guitar. And my parents were like, why the hell do you need that for? You're not a musician.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, not yet. Like, well, you never will be.
I will be. Well, and I came from a very musical family, but I always got the like, well, maybe you should go to school and have a backup plan. Kind of,
That's good advice.
Just good advice, but yeah. So, like, did you do musical theater in high school and stuff?
Yes.
As well?
So I did some stage performing. So I was in a sketch comedy group, and we did some. So I was really fortunate when we moved to London. My high school, Oak Ridge Secondary School, was it had a long period, like about 1972 to I think like well into the 90s. There was one teacher, Art Fiddler, who basically ran this musical theater program.
Great name, Art Fiddler.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's got a Facebook group actually. He's still active and talks to all of us and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah. So they would do a big musical every second year, and there was a 650 seat auditorium in our high school, not sponsored by a major corporation, and.
It's sponsored by Art
we would
Fiddler.
sell out for like 9 nights.
Nice.
Wow.
And there was a pit band that was run by the music department.
Yeah.
So the music teacher would do that. And then there'd be a cast of like 80 and then all the set crew. So half the school was involved in this.
Yeah.
This is what all you jocks were missing out on.
Yeah.
And a fair number of the jocks were in this. Like
Yeah.
it was like not an us and them thing. It was a huge deal in
Right.
school.
Man, did you
School of Spirit.
were you in? Did you go to school at Glee? Was it Glee?
So I will
That
just
fame.
say, the high school I went to was very similar to that, except for we did a major musical production every single year,
Right.
and had a beautiful built-in auditorium. It kind of was a little bit like Glee, to be honest. Like,
when do you start working on that production?
Oh, September.
And then it happens in like
then,
July or something like that.
No,
June?
it happened, I think, if I can remember, and anyone who went to Sheldon Williams Collegiate will correct me on this, and please do, but I feel like the productions actually went on like maybe in March or April or something like that.
Jeez.
And they were significant like they're full scale musical productions, right? They were huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'll tell you, the people who've come from that high school that I went to school with, so Colin James went there, and then another guy, Tilden Webb, as well, and it blows my mind. So we do this Commodore show, right, every year, and Tilden Webb, who was actually in my grade and like in classes with me, he also performs at that same event every year with one of the bands that we also perform with, and it's amazing. So that's a high school out of Saskatchewan, but here we are in BC, Vancouver, BC, and I'm doing a show with a classmate. Anyways, amazing.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah. So
and then so that was grade 11 or grade 12. I don't remember anyway. So there was a show one year. I think it's grade 12, and then grade 13. which sadly I had to go
You guys
through.
had grade 13.
I had grade 13.
Oh,
yes.
that
yes.
sucks.
I know, it does suck. And it was mostly a waste of time.
I should be in university drinking beer right now.
Yes, exactly. Instead, I was
Not in grade 13 drinking beer right now.
yes, exactly. Instead, I was in high school drinking beer. But so we did a show called Lollipops. So this was a much smaller scale. Was directed by one of my classmates, fellow by the name of Jamie Quigley, and he got a script, and it was a children's musical. He found the script, and there were these songs, but they were lyrics, but there was no music. I mean, I presume there was music at some point.
Okay.
So he wrote half the music, and I wrote the other half.
Oh,
great.
wow.
And that was the first musical that I ever played piano for.
Oh, okay.
And it was your own musical.
And it was half of it was my own.
Yeah,
music.
that's pretty
cool.
cool.
Nice. That's
so
great.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
we
so
were
cool.
reviewed in the local paper and all
Nice.
that.
Fun stuff.
And that was
Love
like,
it.
okay, I like doing that. So
Yeah.
I ended up doing about like 30 more musicals over the next 20 years.
Wow. And I thought I was musical first. I've done 11 and you've done like, wow.
A lot,
Okay. I
yeah,
thought I
yeah.
had done a lot, but that's significant for sure. Wow. I miss doing musicals. They're fun. They're like
They really
they're like
are.
a giant extravaganza. They're ridiculous,
Yeah,
you know. It's
I
the
feel
hair
like-
and the makeup and the wigs and the costumes and the you know.
I feel like I would be a more emotionally complete person if I hadn't have just done sports in high school. I should have got involved with musical theater. I
yeah.
feel like
Hey, it's
But you're
never
making
too
up for
late.
it now, right?
Yeah,
It's
you're doing it
balanced,
now.
right?
Yeah, you're doing it now.
But you know, the fact that you are emotionally incomplete is something that we deal with it. It's fine.
It's
Like, I don't
enduring.
think you should feel bad.
You just gotta
about
work
it.
with it.
It makes us all feel a little bit
He's
better.
gonna
about
come in,
ourselves.
he's gonna start talking about hockey for a while. We all just nod our heads and go, yeah, for sure. And then we move on with the business. Yeah.
So good. So good.
Don't mention the Maple Leafs.
This is in high school. My friend Mike Van Holt was a sax player, and he approached me and another friend of mine to join the Musicians Union in London, and we did that, and then we played these
That's
gigs.
London, Ontario. Just
Yes.
to be clear.
Yes. And then we did these
Home
gigs
of the
like at
Knights.
senior centers.
Okay.
And Mike would sing and play the sax, and we would mostly do oldies and that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
And I don't know if this is still a thing. Probably is. You could actually then send a request into the Musicians Performance Trust Fund and say you've done this good deed, you played some music for people, and you've done it for free, but the union would pay you. And for us as high school kids to get like $40 for playing for an hour at a senior center was amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
It's like, listen, guys, we got to stop stealing hubcaps.
This music thing. This music
Yeah.
charity
Yeah.
scam.
Yeah,
is-
this is
Yeah.
music scam.
All you needed to get into the union in London, at least in 1979, was somebody to sign for you who was already in. So,
Okay.
so Mike was
Oh,
already in. He signed us in.
Okay.
So then when I joined the union, my name appeared on a list as new members, and then what my instrument was. Okay, followable. I think it probably said piano. I don't remember.
Jimmy Sturgeon.
Well, Jimmy Sturgeon.
Jimmy Sturgeon.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Sturgeon.
Sturgeon, electric piano.
Jimmy Sturgeon. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Edit
Okay.
alert.
Yeah. And then I got a call from this guy, Bob Downs, and Bob had a dance band, and they needed a keyboard player. So he came down and auditioned me for their band. And I ended up playing in Downs Group 5 for 3 years. And so while my high school buddies were playing, like working at McDonald's or whatever,
Yeah.
I was playing gigs almost every Saturday night for like
Downs Group
50,
5.
$60.
Yeah.
But those guys who were weird, there was two brothers, Bob and Don, and one of them was a trumpet player and one of them was a sax player. They had absolutely brilliant tone. They could not improvise their way out of a paper bag.
Right,
All they
fair
could do
enough.
was play what was in front of them.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
classically
I get that.
trained.
I get
Classically
that.
trained
Yeah.
musicians.
Yeah.
And we had a binder that was like, 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
And everybody had one. All the songs were numbered.
Mhm.
And we would routinely play songs that we had never rehearsed.
Right.
And there were these two brothers that were also in the band. I wish I could remember their names. A guitar player and a drummer, and they were really good. The guitar player could, well, both of them could sing, and they would harmonize with each other. So they were actually the heart and soul of the band.
If any listener or viewer remembers the names of the people,
yeah.
and say it again, the name of the
Downs Group 5.
Downs Group 5.
Yeah. And we had no bass player.
No bass player.
So I played.
Need one.
I played the bass. So I played all the bass on my keyboard,
right,
in my left hand.
Just like Geddy Lee.
I mean, but I didn't sing as high, but
okay.
at all. And then they had an organ which they owned, so I had my own little tiny electric piano which I had bought at some point, and then they had an organ. So I used my piano to play the bass, and then the organ for whatever sort of fills and that kind of thing. And they'd be like, okay, put a bookmark in 372, and then I'd open it up, and it's like, okay, it's like Sentimental Journey. Okay, we're going to do this. I've never even seen this song before, but I would just read the chords, right?
Wow.
And I would play, and I would figure out the bass.
Nicely
And it was
done.
such a great education in playing in a band.
And that's the real pro.
And
that's
they
the real
were
pro
they
stuff.
were kind of weird, and I did ultimately leave under some awkward circumstances because I brought a friend into the band, and they didn't like him. They fired him, and I got annoyed. But I think they're probably both dead, honestly, because it's been like 50 years.
Never
40.
hire friends or family.
Were they older?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, there's no way they're still around. They would be.
How much older than you were they?
Well, when you're 18,
Everybody
somebody
seems
who's
old.
40 seems like they're 80, but
Old. Yeah.
I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I have Googled them several times. I've never been able to track them down.
Yeah.
But I would like them to know that I thank them. Like, it really was a great experience.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And probably they probably taught you about the evils of marijuana and to stay.
I don't believe it came
up.
up.
Oh.
I gotta say though, it's those first bands, they're so important, to your learning curve. Like for me it was I had played in some first bands with teenage people, but playing in a first band with some older people, for me it was Donnie and the Mood Dogs, which we talked about with Vinyl. And that was a really important learning band for me, right?
Yeah.
Just being with older people to really, put you in your place and tell you what to do and tell you how to show up. And
this is how you wrap a cable.
Yeah.
With me, it was Orchestra Orlando Russo. They were older, but it was good paying gigs. Again, every 3 times a month, 4 times a month.
No, it was great. I
Well,
remember
that's
once
cool.
my high school had a band marathon. And we were raising money for the senior orchestra, the Oak Ridge band, and it was a 24-hour. Okay, we're always going to play and so on.
Right.
So I was actually not in the band at that point, but I knew all the band people, and so I volunteered to help. And so every now and then I would play piano to do transitions between different bits. So I stayed up all night, and then I had a gig with Downs Group 5 on the Saturday night. I slept for 2 hours, and they came to pick me up, and my dad comes up I'm dead to the world. Okay, but I did survive that gig. Somehow.
Yeah, but you know what? You can do that shit when you're that age, right?
Yeah, now you're ready for
you
jet
can
lag, by the way.
totally do that stuff at that age. You can be like, I've been up for 48 hours and I'm okay.
Yeah,
that is the age to do that shit.
Yeah.
I still occasionally do it now.
Yeah, occasionally, and then I need a week recovery at this point. But
well, let's do another episode segment of What's on Trixie's Mind today.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what's on Trixie's mind today is that, in anticipation of having Jimmy Sturgeon and talking about keyboards, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole of looking up keyboardists and whatnot on the great Google. And
is that what we're calling it now?
it's the great Google. Yeah, that's what I call it, anyways. So, I do this, and so the number one that comes up is one site called musicthisday.com, and they do this listicle of 100 greatest rock keyboardists, right?
Yeah.
And there's not one period.
Out of 100
women.
individual people.
100 individual people, not a single woman on this.
Right.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Jeez.
But the people that they actually include on the 100, I was like, really? What? And so one of them is and don't get me wrong, Brian Eno, they put Brian Eno on the list, and listen, like, apparently according to Spotify 2025 Music Wrapped, whatever that is, I'm in the top 10,000 of Brian Eno fans.
You and the people that write the New York Times crossword puzzle.
I think I made, like, they were like, you're the 9,872 biggest, listener of Brian Eno. And I'm like, really? Okay.
Would you like to buy his merch?
But here's the thing. The reason why I bother to mention it is because he's a self-described non-musician. So for him to actually make a list of, greatest keyboardist of all time is like...
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that. Like, he's like a producer, synthesist.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean,
exactly.
he's a genius for sure. But I wouldn't have said.
So I was a little insulted because I'm like, okay, there's...
You got this guy and but no women still.
But there's no Christy McVie or Carole King. Or Joni Mitchell. Or Tori Amos. Or Kate Bush. Or Fiona Apple. Women need not apply, right? Like, I was just like, okay.
I mean, for me, I probably at heart am a piano player, right? That is what I grew up doing, is what I enjoy the most. The songs that we play where I am playing the piano are the ones I have the most fun at, for the most part.
Right.
And then, I mean, someone like Thomas Dolby, who is an interesting...
great.
Keyboard player. So he creates interesting sounds. He's, playing with the technology.
Cool melodies.
So what would I say is the difference? A piano player is an instrumentalist on a particular traditional instrument. And when you get into synths and all the things that they can do, you are getting into being a technologist. And so, the actual things you're doing with your fingers might be similar, but with keyboards, you are dealing with technology more than you are as a piano player.
So let me ask you this question, because, I grew up in the 80s, right? So that was the great age of, like, suddenly you've got drum machines and you've got sampling and you've got all that kind of thing happening.
All at once.
And I remember a particular person in my life saying, like, anybody could do that. And I was like, yeah, but the difference is, It takes hundreds of hours to learn how to manipulate the machinery in the same way that it takes hundreds of hours to learn how to play the instrument. And to me, it's actually even more, because you also have to have the musical knowledge of chords and modes and how they go together and how to construct a song, as well as being able to manipulate the technology at the same time, right? Like, it's
science.
It's
Science.
You have to be a musician and a scientist at the same time, right? So I feel like it's even more, right? Like it's a lot more.
It's different. It's just it's a different thing, right? I mean, as a piano player, the degree of sort of virtuosity that you can get to, you think about classically trained people who practice for hours every day, who can do unbelievable things. That is one particular set of skills. And then what you're talking about in terms of learning the technology and how to program things and all of that, that's
it's a
also
huge
it's a
set
huge
of
thing.
skills.
Yeah.
It's a huge set
They're
of
just
skills.
different sets of skills.
But so I go down the rabbit hole a little bit further with Google, and I'm trying to ask it in different ways, like, good keyboard players or great keyboard players or, rock keyboardists or whatever. And I just keep coming up with these, like, listicles that don't include women. Like, it's mind blowing. It's totally mind blowing.
So may I just say, like, on my tombstone, you could put lists are stupid.
Lists are stupid. Okay, sure.
Lists are stupid.
And these are the top 10 stupid lists.
Seriously, we should make a top 10 stupid list.
Yeah. I was actually looking up. Stuff to tell people, like, go to some cool shows, in your local neighborhood, who's playing at your local neighborhood. And I came across this band called Ultra Sunn, who's playing at the Rickshaw on April 2nd, 2026. And I was like, wow, they're like kind of a trio actually at this point. And their main keyboardist and drum machine programmer.
Total?
There's
We're gonna find out.
well, they started out as a duo, but
It's a power trio.
as I understand, they
So 3 to the second
kind of
power, or what?
recently added a third person, like in 2023, which maybe isn't so recently, but like, hey. Anyways, she's their keyboardist and synth player. Like I'm talking
Sorry, who?
synth player, Ultra Sunn. And they're playing at the Rickshaw Theatre April 2nd. I'm so excited to go see them.
All right.
And so I like bang off a quick email to them. And I'm like, hey, I have this silly podcast. Like, you know, and they're from Brussels. So just so you know, they're on the other side of the world. It's like, you know, the 2 a.m. in the morning when they're getting this email. Half an hour later, I get a freaking email back.
They don't sleep.
Ginormous email from their synth player, Gaelle is her name. And I was like, I can't believe this. I was like, I feel like I just talked to a rock star. I got an email from a rock star. Like, it was so cool. Anyway.
Trixie, you're a rock star. Right?
I thank you very much.
It's just like somebody that's just responding in kind.
I love it. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, if you want to go see an amazing show, I watched a bunch of their videos today and like they're pretty spectacular. Yeah. They're playing at the Rickshaw. It's not going to cost you any more than $29 to go see a freaking amazing show.
Yeah, welcome our European friends as well.
Yeah. And then for all of our like thousands of millions of fans, they're gonna, after they come here, they're gonna go down and do a tour in the US as well.
Maybe come to Lizard Lounge. Maybe come and see
Maybe they'll come to the Lizard Lounge.
Maybe.
No, sorry. So what did she say?
So I'm gonna read that email to you. So she's the main keyboardist and I believe the producer of their music. And they recently added this second keyboard player and percussionist a couple years back. But anyways, she's also a fashion designer, which is why they look so amazing.
Fabulous.
And I was kind of looking at them and I was like, sort of reminds me of like Superman 2. Do you remember like General Zod? Like the three villains, the three that get like
the black leather.
Yeah, and they get stranded in the plate glass window that gets like shot out to space and
the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah. Kneel to General Zod. That was what I remember from that. But anyways, she said, "Hi, Trixie. Thank you for the compliments and thinking of me. It is true that there are still very few women in music in general and even fewer as instrumentalists in this scene. I always see the other women I meet as real warriors. When we cross paths, we immediately understand what each of us has been through and what we've endured.
Oh, I love it.
This is a deep strength amongst women musicians. I believe kindness and pride should always be our main feelings towards one another. I actually started out with classical piano. I studied composers like Frédéric Chopin, Franz Liszt, and Johann Sebastian Bach. When we started Ultra Sunn, my playing was still very rounded, very classical. I remember needing to write down my sheet music to rehearse. The band taught me a completely different way of approaching music, much freer, much more focused on sound and research and texture. Right?
Okay, that's it. I'm going to see these guys.
I know, right? You got to come. And and that's why I think of like Brian Eno, right? Like it's just like a sound sculpturist, right? Like that's, and that's why I'm the 9,872 fan in the world of Brian Eno.
And Jimmy, that was the same journey you said with respect to when you went from classical piano.
Yeah, absolutely.
Band, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was never very classical, but I still know the path. Yeah.
And she says of the band that she's in, we share a lot of the same taste when it comes to sonic textures. I began with a Korg, micro Korg, that we completely reprogrammed, and it's such an underrated machine. It can produce extraordinary sounds if you really dive into it. And so I'll just stop here. I looked this up and I'm like, okay, there's 37 keys on this board, and it was released in 2002. And in 2007, they released a limited edition of it with reverse colored keys. And I'm like, who's got one of those? That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Do you know
we
this?
We made 300.
No.
All the white keys are black and all the black keys are white.
Yes.
I may have a virtual chord now.
We made one, and Michael Jackson bought it for the Ebony and Ivory video. Nobody knows what happened to it, though.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so I don't know this particular one. I've never heard of it, but Then she says, then I started using the Roland Juno 106 and the Roland Juno 60, especially for the arpeggiator. Arpeggiators.
Yeah.
What's the arpeggiator?
You hit the root note and it arpeggiates the chord underneath. Major or minor, right?
Well, with the Juno, my recollection is you would actually hit all the notes, and then you'd push the arpeggiator, and it would play whatever you were doing.
It's even easier now.
Yes, no, I'm familiar with what you're talking about, but back in those days, you had to actually tell it all the notes that you were going to play, and then it would run up and down, or just up. Like there were like 3 different settings. You could go up, you could just go down, or you could go up and down.
So you play the chord, and you hit the thing, and it goes. Okay, all right.
You write "Stairway to Heavens" again, and
I think the main difference between the Juno 60, which is what I had, and the 106 that she mentions, is the 106 brought MIDI into the mix, where MIDI is where you can talk to other keyboards or a computer and that kind of thing. Whereas the Juno 60 with MIDI had not yet been finalized. So there was this thing on the back that theoretically would allow you to talk to other machines, but it wasn't.
It was a marketing ploy.
Well, they were still trying to figure that out.
It would have been, that was like kind of the original old school sort of synth stuff, right? And, that's good. She also says, and I'm not sure in which one particular she's talking about, whether it was the 106 or the 60, but she said also the iconic chorus on it. And you may recognize it from such iconic sounds from groups like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Franz Ferdinand and the Black Eyed Peas, and Vangelis. So think of
Vangelis.
So Vangelis, you can think of like Chariots of Fire. Yes, exactly. And the super wicked Blade Runner soundtrack.
Blade Runner. Jeez.
Although, to be fair, those were not the Roland. That was actually mostly the Yamaha CS80 and a Jupiter. And a couple of others on that one. But, I mean, I tell you, that Blade Runner soundtrack is just like
so
out of this world.
Straight from outer space.
Just brilliant. Beautiful.
Yeah. Like, okay, we're trying to make
me want to turn
future.
Turn a turtle over and allow it to walk away.
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, so she goes... Gaelle goes on to say, I love the Korg MS-20 because it really allows you to visualize the synthesis process. It's very physical, very direct. And I was like, okay, I got to look this up. And it's a patchable semi-modular monophonic analog synthesizer. So and they released it in 1978. Until 1983. So this is kind of like old-timey gear, right? And I looked up some pictures of it to try to understand what she was saying, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. The brains of it are sitting up on top of the keyboard. And so like on the left-hand side are all the knobs, and on the right-hand side is like a patch bay, right? So it's literally hands-on, you're tweaking and turning.
I've never had anything quite that old school.
Yeah, like it's super old-timey gear. So when she says it's like, it's physical and direct and it allows you to visualize what's going on, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand what she means.
It's where analog meets digital.
Yeah, very much so. And then she goes on to say, at the moment on stage, I'm using a lot more FM sounds, which would be frequency modulator and samples. We completely reprogrammed a Korg Op6. I don't know anything about that. I didn't look it up. The format is amazing, and the presets allow us to play live with sounds that are as close as possible to what you hear on the recordings. It's very geeky work, but honestly, it's fascinating. And I laughed at that because I remember talking to you, Jimmy, and you were like, yeah, keyboards is like 80% admin.
True.
Yeah.
I love that this wonderful, beautiful woman.
I know.
Back this
that is really lovely.
This ridiculously detailed.
Yeah.
And all encompassing. Hey, I'm waiting for the part where she says, you should come and hang out with us or something.
So her ending. Well, here's what she says. Beyond the synths, I'm also in charge of samples and drum bass sequencing with a hardware sequencer, mostly a blend of Roland drum sounds that we pre-programmed together. We always work as a duo. There are two, but I understand they added a third. But maybe what I personally bring is a kind of three-dimensional vision as a visual mindset. And just to go back to saying that I have read and understand she's also a fashion designer, which, you know, lends itself to their amazing outfits as well. She says, I like to think of a song as a garment you design where the body is at the center. If the piece fits perfectly, the song will fall naturally into place, and both we and the listener will feel good wearing, listening to it. And then she goes, to your point.
God damn.
I know,
Isn't that
I know.
nice?
It's amazing.
Mic drops.
I know.
Moment
Totally
right
mic
there.
drop. And she goes,
Never heard an analogy like that before.
she goes, thanks for reaching out to me and let me know if you want to be our guest at the Rickshaw gig. I know. I know. But I
Oh, is
emailed
this
her
the
back.
same-
I'm a single person in Canada.
Yeah.
Is this the same episode we
We're
said
going
that
to the show.
we pay for
So,
pay
yeah.
for when people offer us free
So
tickets?
Yeah, we're
no,
going
that
to the
was
show.
the one
Yeah,
before.
got it,
I
got it.
emailed back and I said, thank you very much for the offer, but I'm paying for tickets. Like,
Oh,
because
buy
I just
more
like,
tickets.
you know,
Oh,
absolutely.
boy,
And I
okay.
did immediately after I went. I
Yeah.
bought our tickets. So
Oh, I'm going to see
yeah,
it.
I think there's a lot of leather and a lot of you know, just so people are aware.
Matrixy.
Check it out. It's
It's
a lot of
everywhere so
alternative
bad.
lifestyle kind of stuff. So
Or at least all their
yeah.
promo images online. You show up
Yeah.
there in jeans and t-shirt, you go, oh man.
Yeah. Come dressed. Open your tickle trunk. Yeah. Absolutely. There you go.
We are
That's
a
what I
band
have to
with multiple tickle trunks. So
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the great,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
unifying thing. Like we were
Yes.
talking about previously, none of our own personal musical tastes are what the band does. Like,
Yeah,
like
not really.
it's all kind of fed into it,
Yeah.
but we all have this aesthetic that we.
Yeah.
What?
But good is
We can't do a Bjork song?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, good is good.
We can't do Marillion? I really wanted to do a Marillion song.
Can't play a Van Halen song.
I know.
So, what are your favorite deep dive musical tastes, like personally?
I probably try to play the piano like Elton John, so
Right.
that was always a big one. I truly did love Tori Amos for years. I mean,
Mhm.
and I haven't played her stuff. I've actually never tried to learn her stuff.
Oh.
Her piano level is super high.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's very
Yeah.
challenging.
Oh, interesting.
I did one song of hers with a duo I played in briefly, and it's very technical.
Yeah. Joe Jackson, particularly the deep cuts on his stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to go see him. He's coming in a couple of months. I was really late getting a ticket, and I actually got the last and worst ticket by myself. One
Yeah.
ticket
Oh,
in the back
the
row.
So what? You're there. So
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Does
there's
he
just a few that
do-
come to mind.
is Joe
He's an
Jackson-
unbelievable piano player. He's
Yeah.
not considered like.
He's got that boogie woogie.
Well, yeah, that and more. Like if you listen to a song like "Everything Gives You Cancer" and the piano solo in that, just absolutely killer. Yeah,
What a
no, it's
great title
it's
for a
kind of
song.
a
I don't know
yeah,
that
yeah,
song, but what a great
yeah.
title for a song. Does he do Lawyers in Love? Is that him? No, that's Joe Jackson.
No, we are talking about Joe Jackson,
Oh,
but I believe that is
sorry.
no, that is
Sorry.
that. It is not Joe Jackson.
Okay,
Yeah.
so to be
The show
fair,
is called Day Drinking with Chef.
yeah, to be fair,
I'll drink to that.
and this is our second episode today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does he do Lawyers in Love then? Sorry, no, yes.
No, it's
Still no.
it's still no.
Lawyers in
No, I know the song. I cannot remember who does it, but yes.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always said, by the way, I've always loved boogie woogie rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
Piano.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like my
yeah.
favorite. And I've always said, if I was ever going to take up another instrument, it would be I want to play that Billy Joel, that rock and
Yeah.
roll,
Yeah.
bang, 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 bang on the keys. Like that's to me, that's the shit. I love it.
Who do you love as like if synth players? Like if you're like to think of synth players like ELP,
I was never a big ELP guy. I like Yes. I really do like Rick Wakeman, although more organ than synthesizer for him.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I mean, I do have a lot of fun with Thomas Dolby stuff.
Oh yeah.
Tom
I
Petty.
really want to do She Blinded Me with Science.
Science. Keep blowing the Science.
I think it's a good song for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it could be
it's
fun.
so up our alley.
I feel like it would take
so
me
shaggy.
2 months to figure out all the
It
enigmas.
There's a lot of
I get
admin
to just
on
go
that
have a
song.
smoke. I get to have a smoke.
Your costume
smoke.
changed.
That's
You're
right,
not
that's
smoking.
yeah, we don't need you, Krash. for
We're
that
not
one.
going to need
Yeah.
a guitar on this one.
Yeah, that's
This
yeah.
person famously hates guitars.
So it was Jackson Brown lawyers.
That's right.
Oh, it was
that's right. I
Jackson
was trying
Brown
to come
Lawyers
up
and
with
Love.
that,
Okay, thank you for looking that up over there.
No, it was the brain.
Oh, it came to the
It was
brain.
the
Okay,
brain.
all right, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
All right, man.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
that might be
Was
it.
that it?
I think
Okay.
that's it. Well, thank you. That's episode 7. Drinking with Shag.
Let's have a do
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.